My name is Captain Moses Karanja. I'm a captain on the Boeing 737 fleet. Presently, I'm also doubling up on a voluntary role as a coordinator between cargo commercial and operations. After the COVID-19 pandemic, we required to think innovatively, think differently, and for that reason, we had to modify and use some of our Boeing 787 Dreamliners, as well as the Embraer and the 737 new generation to transport cargo. Right now we are flying twice a week to London Heathrow, twice a week to Amsterdam, twice a week to Sharjah. Previously it was Dubai, then we moved to Sharjah, and twice a week to Canton, that is Guangzhou in China. The cargo that you see on board, are our customers, and we do have a customer journey. This starts with our cargo sales team. They go out there and they sell capacity in the aircraft. Once the sales team have sold space in the aircraft, the shipments are received in the warehouse where they are palletized. And on a normal day, those would go in the belly of the aircraft, which is a much easier task than what we are doing here right now. Presently, we have full capacity in the belly. We have to ensure that we get maximum capacity of the aircraft, and therefore we start loading cargo in the cabin. This is a very tedious task because what you're seeing right now has to be lifted by high loaders to the level of the cabin, and thereafter a manual process ensues. Each seat has a maximum of 77 kilos, so by 3 of that is around 221. So we pack boxes in here, ensuring that we don't exceed the maximum of 221 per seat. Unlike a passenger who, when they're seated, they strap on their seatbelt, and in case of a turbulence, they can hold themselves onto the seat, or if the aircraft enters a deep dive, they can be able to secure themselves. The cargo cannot do that. So our customers here have to be strapped, and these are the nets that you're seeing. All this weight is transmitted to the load controller, who will do the final documentation, which is called the load sheet, and thereafter we are good to go. Given that we are operating in unprecedented times, we have to ensure the safety of our staff, the safety of the crew operating the aircraft, and once this entire activity is done, the groomers will come in and groom and clean the cabin, and after that they will disinfect. Once the aircraft is disinfected, it's declared sterile, and only the operating crew are allowed access into the aircraft. Additionally to the captain, the first officer, the purser, and the cabin crew, we're also having to carry 2 engineers. One is the systems engineer and another one is a cabin engineer. So a cabin engineer is to take care of this cabin. He has to ensure that once we get to our destination and the cargo is offloaded, we have secured the cabin. You can see the seats have bubble wraps around them to ensure that we don't damage the screens as well as the surface itself. So he has to ensure that all that is in order before it's loaded again. We also carry a load master and a load controller, and their role basically is to supervise the loading of the cabin.